So I just want to jump on here real quick. So I was wondering, you all, what do you all think about if true twin flames like date other people, not even just like intimately, just like see other people? This is going to be a short video, honestly speaking, but I was kind of curious because I've been seeing that the retrograde kicked out a lot of relationships on social media. A lot of people are laughing and saying that like any solid relationship did not, that was not solid, did not make the retrograde. I saw a lot of people laughing and making jokes on social media saying that any relationship that was not solid did not make it. And I agree, y'all. Sorry, y'all, I have to turn the light. I'm driving. I have to agree. You know what I'm saying? I actually have to agree with that. It does make a lot of sense. One second, y'all. Back, you all. Be right back. My phone in, so I'll be right back on in a minute, okay? Oh, we're gonna chat. Okay, I see you. I see you, Mystical. I'll be right back. I gotta charge my phone. I'm gonna be right back in a little bit. I'm still live, okay? Okay, I'm back, y'all. Yay, I'm back. I had to get my mail real quick. So, yeah, y'all. I do not know, man, about this whole twin thing, man. Like, this shit is so fucked up, you know? I want to go to a park right now. Man, this shit is so fucked up. You know why this shit is so fucked up? Because it's so messed up, because it's like, if you can't be with your twin, or your twin doesn't know the connection, what are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I know some people choose to be single. They choose to not engage with anybody else. They choose to, you know, not be romantic with anybody else. But I just don't think that that's realistic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging anybody, but let me tell you, like, that is something that I could honestly say with my own life that I would never put up with. You know, there's no way that I'm gonna keep getting better and better and having more epiphanies and working more on myself, and, you know, in every way, like financially, spiritually, physically, like, you know, this journey makes you a better person. Like, this connection, you know, it makes you a better person naturally. So I really don't understand how in general, like, especially for the feminine energy, you know, I was going to do a feminine reading earlier, but I was just way too busy from work and all that. And like, I went grocery shopping and I had to get gas and all types of ish. So I didn't have time to like do a proper reading, but it's only 9:11 right now. So if I get home in time, I may be able to do a divine feminine reading for you all that I kind of got a download for earlier. But especially for divine feminine, I think that if your masculine is not interested in you, or your masculine is not awake, like, you cannot wait forever. You know, and I know to some people it's gonna be like, oh, how could you say that? But like, right now, like, I'm not gonna say that I'm back to my 3D self. I'm not gonna say that, because you all know that I've let that go, like, completely. Like, for my situation, it's past surrender. It's past, oh, let me think about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to describe it. Like, for me, it's kind of just like my Scorpio mentality, and we are approaching Scorpio season, y'all. So, you know, it's about to get real out here. Like, my mentality is either you're with me or you're against me. Either you're for me or you're not. Like, either you're gonna like put in the work or you're not. Like, for me, there is no, let's see, I'll think about it, like, woo woo woo. Like, it's very black and white. I don't think that it's something that should be you have to debate about. You see what I'm saying? And I don't care what the blogs say. I don't care what even YouTube says. I don't care what anybody says. To me, if somebody wants you, if somebody is down for you, like, they'll show that. And that I know for a fact, whether it's fake to sleep with you or fake to get your money, or, you know, that affection could be fake. But what I know for a fact, that if somebody puts in the effort, that's not fake. You know, that is proof that there's some reason as to why the person wants to, like, either date you, talk to you, or be with you. That's what I know for a fact. So I'm not gonna sit up here. I need to park real quick, y'all, because I cannot drive and talk to y'all. But I'm not gonna make excuses for this connection for nobody. I don't care what. I'm at this point where I've been on my journey, my spiritual path. You know, I've been there, seen there, done that. Like, on some real ish. Like, I've experienced it all. Like, besides negative aspects of it, like, I've experienced a lot to know that I cannot wait. I cannot do it. You know, I had to be very real with myself. Like, I could not wait for him, you know, and I'm not ashamed of that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed to say that. Like, I'm really not ashamed to say, you know what, like, I'll just park here for a little bit. The gas station's over there, so I'm gonna go over there real quick after. But let me talk to y'all for a little bit. So, like, yeah, like, I cannot sit up here and act like I can wait forever, and that the fact that if my twin was either ghosting or ignoring, or, you know, not reaching out, like, for me, it doesn't compute in my brain that somebody could be having such a deep connection, like you, be so attracted to you. You know how it is with your twin. Like, your twin is super attracted to you, and you're super attracted to your twin. I don't see how you can have all that in common plus attraction and be single. Like, I don't understand that, you know. And it's at the point right now where I'm gonna be so real. Like, it's at the point where times when I wasn't interested to, like, know about my twin and all that, like, I can't even blame him. Like, I can't even blame myself. I can't blame him. I can't even blame myself at this point, because it's like, what if he was ready and I wasn't ready? You know what I'm saying? Which did happen a couple times. And then when I'm ready, he's not ready, or whatever the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to know what you all think. I mean, about, like, the question in general. Like, you know, are you comfortable with that? You know, are you actively dating other people? You know, just for a second, right? Like, just for a little second here, you know, drop the labels, drop the idea of karmics, and, like, don't make it too complicated. You know, just think about it. Like, are you, if you are dating somebody else and you have a twin, I'd be interested to hear your story. Because, listen, I'm not saying that I'm gonna jump into anything, but it's concerning. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely concerning when you feel like you've got a hard no. At least in my case, I feel like I've gotten a clear no. Like, just no. Like, it's not gonna happen right now. Like, we're angry at each other. You know, there's no desire. Like, there's nothing there. So in my case, even though they're like, it is what it is, there's still this overlapping and underlapping energy of, like, move the hell on. And maybe it's just me and my own situation, because everybody's different. But at least in my situation, it feels very final. It feels like, okay, I've given, like, my last effort. I'm single. Like, I'm 100% single. Flings, exes, like, my slate is clean. Like, with the retrograde, I've not gone back to any exes in particular that I want to, like, be in a long-term relationship with. So now I feel like I have the ability to, like, start from scratch, you know? And it kind of makes me feel like as a twin, why would you want to do that? You know, why would you want to have to, you know, build up to get to know somebody else? But it's like, what choice do you have? Like, let's be real. Like, what choice do you have? You know, sometimes in life, you're faced with a circumstance or a situation that, you know, you really can't get your way out of. You see what I'm saying? And there's not really much you can do. Like, either you're taken or your twin's taken, or like you guys are not talking. Like, there's so many possibilities to the point where I'm like, you know, I really think that, like, this is real. Like, this is real for me. Like, I feel so sure, but like, if nothing changes within like the next 2 days, I would not be surprised if like I just totally called this off and was like, you know, I made a mistake or something. And I hate to say that, but it's kind of like, it makes you want to behave like that, because you can't understand how you can have all this and this person is actively trying to dodge you. Like, if my twin never realized who I was and was doing all that, that'd be totally different. But if he was doing all that and he knows that I'm his twin, for me, that would be like disgusting. And I wouldn't want nothing to do with him, because that would show me that this person is not a good person. Like, in his core, he's not a good person. So like, even talking about him is awkward for me. Like, even now talking about him is awkward, because I just don't feel that. Like, I don't feel like the romantic need. I don't have those feelings. I don't have that urge. Like, for me, it's totally different. So any of you that are live, if you have a question, you could type it now, because once my clock hits like 20 or so, I'm probably going to get off here because I have to go to the gas station. But if you all have like anything to share, any questions, or any like comments or whatever you want to share about your own situation, you know, let me know in the comment section. I'll leave it open after, once I get back home, and not have to like tweak the settings, because you know, with YouTube, it's all complicated, honey. So I have to go home and I have to put allow comments, because it's not going to automatically allow y'all to type in the box, only in the chat, which is live. So that's really all I want to say, y'all, is like, for me, it is so real, especially with the holidays and the years coming to a close. I'm excited. Like, 2022, 222 partnerships. You feel me? Like, that screams soulmate. Like, no offense, but like 222 for me, Two of Cups energy, like, screams soulmate. You know, and look at how many people have now just become newly single because of the retrograde. So this, if you think about it, for those twins who are being treated poorly and like you're not talking to your person, think about it. Like, this is actually a pretty good time to like find a soulmate. No offense, but to me, this is a really good time to like start fresh, because there's nothing interfering with like the ability to find somebody who's more in alignment with what you want right now. And I don't feel any kind of way about it. Like, honestly, I've not gone back to the old me, but I definitely think that like a lot of like fantasy, a lot of like dreams, a lot of hopes that I had, I feel like are just not with they're not, how can I even explain this? Like, yeah, like, they're not standing the test of time. That's the thing. Like it's not holding up. It's like any little retrograde, any little disturbance, it's like boom, you know, totally knocked down. You know what I'm saying? And that's just no way to live. So I know somebody earlier commented, so yeah, you know, especially like if your twin is with somebody else, or like you're with somebody else, like, like I said, I don't know. I don't know what people expect us to do. I don't know what the universe expects us to do. I don't know. But what I do know, y'all, is that life is precious, and if you're lovable and somebody finds you attractive and you get along with somebody, you know, you have every single right to find somebody who appreciates you now. you know, not later. You see what I'm saying? I don't think that, I don't feel in my core that people are meant to be alone forever. You know, I know back in the day there was this phrase about, oh, single forever. I'm gonna be single forever. Like there was like this kind of like joke, you know, I don't know what year that was, but I remember back in the day there was like this whole thing about, oh, you know, single forever or single till I die. Like it was really, and that's like a curse. Like when you say stuff like that, like that's like putting a curse on yourself. So like even if people are joking, I would never joke about being single forever. You see what I'm saying? So even with that, like just culturally, like just like with social media, like people say things like that, like, oh, no one's gonna want me. Like, why would you ever say that? Like, I don't think like that, y'all. I mean, maybe I'm just different, but I just don't think like that. The way I think is like, if you're a good person, why would you not be able to find somebody if you're actively asking the universe, you know what I'm saying, for a partner? Like I'm actively asking the universe, like, show me, you know what I'm saying? If it's an app, if it's a place, it's an event, if it's through a friend, if it's me posting more on, you know, Instagram, which I don't even like Instagram, but somebody earlier was saying to me, oh, you know, Instagram is a good way to connect with people locally. I'm like, oh, really? Like I'm open, you know, I am not closed off just because me and my twin have had no communication. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel the need to be like, oh, you know, woe is me. You know, like I don't like that mentality. I think that if something didn't work out, it's for a reason. Thank you all for the comments, by the way. Yeah, y'all feel free to put your comments. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's how I feel. Like, you know, you should never like be down on yourself and feel bad for yourself, because what is that gonna bring but sorrow and make you feel like, and make you feel like you're less than, or like you're not worthy of something. Like that's very negative. So even with my situation, you know, oh, you're so welcome, you all. Thank you so much for tuning in as well. You know, the way I feel genuinely, you all, is like, what a pity if I was to waste more time, you know, crying over spilt milk. I would feel even worse, to be honest with you. Like, no communication, not knowing if he's awake or not is one layer. But then a whole other layer of pain is if I am purposely putting myself on the shelf and I'm purposely putting myself down because of one person either ignoring me on purpose or wanting to be with a karmic, or I don't even know really what is happening with him. I have no idea. You know, he could be dead for all I know. You know, that's how bad it is with my situation. So, but I cannot question, you know, I cannot question the constant confirmations and the synchronicities. Like I still get that, you know, I still get confirmation, but a lot of times I question, and I kind of say to myself, like, it don't make no sense. Like, why would I keep myself on the shelf, you know, when I'm only getting better and I'm only loving myself more? Why would I put myself in a position to feel even worse by forcing myself to be single? So I would never encourage any man, woman, transgender, any age group, any background. I would never encourage anybody who's experienced this kind of connection to purposely put themselves, you know, in hiding. I would not recommend that, because then you feel like you begin to question, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound too deep, but like, yeah, like you will begin to question, like, is something wrong with me? You know, am I making this all up? You know, if you really get in that negative space, it can spiral that way. So I don't spiral because I don't think that way. You know what I'm saying? I choose to think that, okay, if this one thing didn't work out, it could work out with somebody else. And it may not be the typical thing that, you know, most twins experience or whatever, but, you know, there's no rule book. You know, who said that it has to be that you're single for the rest of your life because you and your twin are not together? I mean, excuse me? Like, I don't understand that. I don't think that anybody who's serious about this connection would say that, but you never know. You know, some people may actually believe that if you're not with your twin, you should be with nobody. And I have to object to that 1,000%. If my twin, like I said, because I'm in a place right now, you all, where I'm not even sure. Like, I'm gonna be honest right now, I'm not even sure if he's awake. You know, I thought he was, but the more that things continue, I'm like, I don't think this guy even knows really anything about this. I mean, I'm sure from our conversations, it seems like he did, but now I'm like, I don't really think that he thinks that he could pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? He clearly thinks that he could pick and choose when he could be, you know, in his mission, and, you know, tapping into his higher self, and, you know, doing what he needs to do. Maybe he thinks that he has a choice to opt out, and maybe he does. You see, that's the point that I'm at, where I'm like, you know, maybe he's fed up, you know? Maybe he's fed up. I actually have no idea. No, my Mercury placement is Libra. The current natal birth chart I have and everything I have, my Mercury's in Libra. I have a lot of cardinal. Most of my chart is cardinal. Like really robust. So I'm very action oriented. So I'm not the kind of person to just like sit back and be like, oh my God, like, you know, I'm single, but what am I gonna do about it? Like, just sit on the couch. Like, no, like if I want a partner, I'm gonna go get one. Like, simple. You know, that's my personality. Like, I've never had a problem meeting people. It's only if I want to. Love you too. Love you too. It's only if I want to. Like, if I actually really want a partner, I've had times where I've manifested a person in a day. And I'm not bragging or sounding crazy, but this one guy that I dated, let me tell you, it was within a day. I went to a store. I was looking for paint. This guy was like in construction, and I could tell he was attracted to me. I could tell he was. The only reason why we didn't continue to date is because his parents were getting divorced, and he was actually like a year younger than me. He was still very young, and he was going through a lot with his parents. But if his parents were in a better place and he wasn't moving to a different house in the same city, I would have still dated him. But he had his own personal issues, and I told him that, you know what, like, you need to work on like your parents' situation. You know, his dad was kind of like very strict, very abusive toward, like, he would yell at him. Like, he was working full time, but he had a lot of family things going on. So, you know, I kind of let that go, and he was a little bit immature, but he was a good guy. Let me tell you, he was a good guy. He had a steady job. Let me tell you, if things went different, I would have been with him. I would have continued dating him, because he was an Aquarius. He was an air sign. But I've had situations in my life where I literally, if I'm actively in that energy, it's nothing for me. But the question is, do I want to get 100% off my twin flame path and go with somebody else who's probably not even a soulmate? You know, am I willing to risk it? Like, that's where I'm at. I was like, okay, if this person doesn't want me, somebody else will. You know, I'm not trying to brag, but it's like, I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? And anybody asking about their own situation, you don't got time to wait for nobody either. You see what I'm saying? If somebody doesn't actively want you and is showing up for you, why the hell should you put yourself on the shelf? I will never I don't care if it's a soulmate. I don't care if it's a twin flame. I don't understand that. I don't understand this whole thing with, oh, I'm going to wait and see. I've waited enough. You know, I've talked to God about this. I have waited enough. Let me tell you. I waited enough. I have waited enough. You know, I have. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, really, Pamela? And thank you so much for that comment. That's so sweet. But it's about finding the right person too, you know? I mean, people are attractive, yes, but how is their heart? You know, if I meet a good-looking guy, but he's a rotten person inside, is a manipulator, is a player, is a bad person, you know, I also have to still be tapped in spiritually to see that that person could be a bad person. You know, I can't fall for the okie doke either, so it's tricky. Oh, your husband appeared when you decided to make. That's what I'm saying. And God bless you and congrats. And thank you for that comment, because see, that's how I feel. It's like, exactly, like when you're not looking, like I wasn't looking for my twin. I was looking for all the guys I dated. I wasn't even on that. You see what I'm saying? But I just like, I did dress up. I mean, I don't know if this makes a difference, but like when you go out and like you do feel good, you do like look decent. You don't have to look like amazing, you know? I think it's easier, right? Thank you, Pamela. Okay, that's what I feel. I feel like it's easier. It's easier, right? That's how I feel. I feel like when you go out and you feel good, you look good. Like when I met those other guys that I dated that my twin knew of, by the way, I was feeling good. I was high energy and I realized that. And then when I'm not high energy, right? It's like you think more negative about the opposite sex, and then you know. So maybe I don't know. It just seems like it just seems like when you feel good or you look good to some degree, it's like the universe sends people your way. In my experience, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like to me. So now I'm thinking, okay, what did I do before? You know, what was I doing before? And how can I attract hopefully a soulmate? But if it's not a soulmate and the guy's a good guy and is decent, holds a job, then so be it. You know, I'm not asking for a millionaire. I'm not asking for a guy to have all the cars in the world or, you know, the biggest hoo-ha. You know, if he's a good guy and he could be consistent, take me out, twin who? No offense, but my twin be dust at that point. And right now he is. Right now my twin is like, I'm like looking at my twin like, how stupid are you? Now you're gonna have to go find somebody else. I'm gonna have to go find somebody else. Why? You know? And that's why now I'm questioning, is he even awake? Because why would you want to deal with that? You know? I mean, I think that here's what I'll say. Yeah, it does help. Damn right. I think that it gets to the point where you got to really go with your gut feeling. You know, and thank you for the question. Thank you for the comments, you all. I love to see these comments because it really confirms what I feel like. That's what I think. I think that if you feel in your gut that, you know what, it's time to move on. This person's not interested or this is not working out. I feel like you have to go with how you feel. You can't be scared to let people down. You can't be scared to let your twin down or your soulmate down. You can't be scared to let your parents down or whoever. Like, you can't be afraid to be like, oh, you know, we broke up. Like, I have friends who knew about this. You see what I'm saying? And for me to go back and say, oh, you know, we're not going to make it. Like, who cares? Like, am I happy? Was I happy? No. You know, I was unhappy for a long time and I got tired of all of that. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to start dating again. I'm going to have to start, you know, my looks. I have no problem putting on makeup or, you know, working out. I have no problem with that. I got to do more of it. I know I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting better. You know, I'm investing more money into myself. I'm reading more books. I'm trying to be healthy, always drinking water. You know, I'm doing what I got to do. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Exactly. Yes, I agree. I think that chasing romance, a lot of times it could be like our ego, exactly, telling us, oh, to impress this person or prove to your twin this or whatever. And exactly, it can't be from a place of let me prove something. What are we proving? Because anybody could be in a relationship that looks pretty on the outside and is in pain in the inside. Look how many people we celebrities, perfect example, we know, where we think that they're all happy and then they have these horror stories. Because do you value yourself? You know, even if the person's super attractive or makes a lot of money or whatever, or if you're a guy watching and the girl's super hot, like, how does the person treat you? You know, with all due respect, I'd rather have a regular matrix person or a soulmate who treats me with respect than a twin flame who disrespects me, you know? And I feel like my twin flame has disrespected me so many, not even responding back for me is like, it makes no sense. Because any other guy that I've dated, I'm like, they would love to hear from me. Are you kidding me? Like, what? Yeah, and that's how I feel. But I feel like you have to really honor where you're at in this season, at this time in your life. And Pamela, I think you said something so important. You said that when you were not looking and you were doing well is when you attracted your husband. And that's what I keep hearing. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing goes for guys. Like, when you're just in a good flow, I think it makes it easier. Because when I recall the other guys I've dated, I'm like, it's because I was open. I wasn't closed off. I wasn't like jaded. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, that's just over with. You know what I'm saying? Like that's done with. Like time is going. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to rush, but it's like life is going. Look at this. The year's almost over. And no offense to anybody else watching out here who's still stuck on their twin waiting. Look at how much, you've wasted a whole year. Like, if you've not been able to get in the groove now of loving yourself fully, think about all the people who are still stuck on their twin for this whole year, and could have missed out on a really good person. Doesn't that scare anybody? Like, that would scare me if I missed out on a soulmate because I'm over here crying over my twin. I'd be pissed. So when I realized that, I'm like, I can't let that happen to me. And I'm being when I realized that, I said, you know what? I could continue down the same path from when I caught him with a karmic, and I'm on the same path of, oh, let me watch pick card readings. This is crazy. Like, look at all the people out here wanting to, friends, family even, wanting to experience it because of this connection. Your mind is so warped because why? It's so intense. So you get stuck. And that's what's so scary about it. And I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be going into next year, the year of a 222, and I'm on the same BS of, oh, my twin won't wake up and get his act. Like, what? Like, that's embarrassing. I would never be that kind of person. No offense. Like, I've been there, done that. I've done that already. I've done that already. Oh, congrats, Pamela. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that gives a lot of us here hope as well to hear that. Let me tell you, because it's rough out here. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people I see on social media, like, it's different out here these days. The world is changing so much. But we gotta be strong, you all. We have to be strong. I agree. Paprika, I agree. Yeah. What's meant for you is meant for you. But what do you do when what's meant for you is postponed? That's the scary part. Is like, if it's still meant to be, you're gonna, in between that period of time is so crucial. So at that point, you just gotta, like, really check with your gut, with God, with your higher self, where you're at right now in life, and be honest with yourself. If you really can't commit, or you really can't do X, Y, and Z, you can't wait, be honest. That's what I did. And since I've done that, it was really hard to let go at first. It was really hard to be like, okay, this is BS. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of this. I've been saying this for weeks now. It's months now. It's ridiculous. Had enough of this. And the switch just happened for me. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can start dating again. Maybe I can start actually looking at another guy and wanting to flirt, without holding back. Maybe, just maybe. Not forcing it, just maybe. Maybe there's somebody else out here that I need to be with for the time being, or permanently, and that's okay too. Yeah. Don't put your life on hold. I agree with that. I agree with that. I have to agree with that. You regret it. Like I told people before, if you let your twin stop you from career goals, any kind of goal, you're going to feel anger towards your twin. And that's not what God intended, is for you to look at your twin as an enemy. That's not a good situation. I agree with that. Yeah, don't put your life on hold. Exactly. Like when it happens, it will happen. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the twin journey, let me tell you, the twin journey can go even deeper. But you know, this is where I get off the train. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is my stop where I'm like, okay, he can do what he want to do. I don't even know who that person is right now. Like really, like I did my part. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, I got to find somebody else. This is ridiculous now. Yeah. Well, I gotta get off here, you all, because my phone's gonna go dead. But I'm gonna see you on the comment.